Hey everyone. Today we'll chat about Forrest's IQ of 75, 5 points below passing. The government said special school, but his mum chose to fully support him. That night, the principal's shrieks were like a concert, and Forrest innocently sat outside wondering, what's the principal up to this time? After the principal made the grand exit, Forrest started his own comeback, leaving the principal red-faced. Later, Mum regaled Forrest with stories. What a family entertainment night. Forrest, ever the curious one, suddenly asked, "Mum, what's a vacation?" Even though he lost his dad young, this kid was surprisingly optimistic. Even though they lost the man of the house, it was always lively at home, with tourists galore, and Forrest was having the time of his life with the short-term renters. Forrest's dance moves took him to the stage, and bam. He became a superstar, with folks calling him the king, and on school day, Mum kept reminding him to hit the book. The school bus was always punctual, but seeing the driver with the cigarette made Forrest think, is this guy auditioning for a dangerous game? As soon as Forrest got in the bus, he faced a chilly reception from classmates because his adorable cluelessness wasn't their style. He thought, can I really fit? Just when he was lost, the sweet melody Jenny appeared. Her gentle voice like a breath of spring was a blessing from above. From that day forward, Forrest was head over heels for Jenny, and she, with just a few casual chats, spotted that he was one of a kind. They became inseparable pals, climbing trees and hitting the books together, just like a childhood duo. Under the serene starry sky, the tree was their paradise, but oddly, Jenny always hesitated to go home, making Forrest wonder, does she have a special fear of home? It seemed like Forrest would never walk, but one day, a miracle struck. 3 little rascals targeted him, throwing stones while Jenny yelled, "Run, Forrest, run." In that very moment, Forrest Gump was running desperately. Could this indeed mark the turning point in his fate? Time seemed to freeze as energy surged through Forrest's legs, leading to his legendary running skills. His feet kicked away those little troublemakers with glee. From that day on, Forrest could run anywhere he wanted. But Jenny was wrestling with a painful childhood, as her father was an alcoholic, and her reluctance to go home often left her feeling down. Every day was an arduous battle. Despite Jenny often sporting a hurt expression on her face, fortunately, she eventually received assistance that very day and wouldn't have to share a life with her dad anymore. Despite living in his grandma's old trailer, it was closer to Mum, and he often smiled while thinking of her. Whenever a storm came, Jenny would sneak upstairs to find Forrest, while he was utterly clueless about what she was really scared of. For her, being with Forrest was her safe haven. Throughout elementary and middle school, they were inseparable, a match made in heaven. Those little troublemakers sorely turned into hoodlums to keep up with Forrest. They even bought a used car. But their pursuit of him led to. Forrest sprinted into a football field like a whirlwind, with the speed that was simply breathtaking, leaving the coaches on the field gazing at him in wide-eyed amazement, unable to tear their eyes away. To others, he might have seemed like a fool, but to everyone, he was the fastest fool around. The moment the ball landed in Forrest's hands, cheers erupted for this future star. Forrest was clueless about what was happening. All he heard was people yelling him to run, and Forrest dashed with all his might, like he was in a marathon. With the coach's guidance, Forrest's team snagged the championship, but Jenny wasn't there, and a poor sense of loneliness started to creep in. Jenny often hitched rides back. One day, Forrest spotted a man on top of her and almost blew a gasket. Without a second thought, Forrest charged in and gave the guy a good thrashing, leaving people thinking, wow, what a brave kid. College flew by in a flash, with Forrest spending most of his time playing football and chugging down 15 sodas. What a character. At graduation, he successfully snagged his bachelor's degree, and Mom couldn't have been prouder. On the same day, Forrest got his draft notice, and without missing a beat post-graduation, he jumped right into military life. What an eager beaver. In the army, he faced a childhood nightmare again. Nobody wanted to sit with him on the bus until he met Bubba. What a lifesaver. Bubba hailed from a family of shrimpers, chasing his dreams, and Forrest was already in awe of his passion. To Forrest, military life was a breeze, just follow orders. Whenever it was time to assemble weapons, head focus and nail it every time. He polished his boots to a shine, even brushing them with a toothbrush. His army skills were downright hilarious. Despite it all, Bubba still yearned for the shrimp from his hometown. What a guy with ambition and sentimentality. Nights in the army were quiet. Forrest often missed his mom and Jenny. One day, his roommate gave him an adult magazine, and he found Jenny's picture. He mumbled Jenny's name, thinking she might be in trouble. So once vacation rolled around, he couldn't wait to find her. When he finally saw Jenny performing on stage, his heart burst with joy as she held the guitar, chasing her dreams. But sadly, the reality was the audience didn't appreciate Jenny's performance at all. Her heartfelt efforts vanished like a drop in the ocean. Forrest was furious and charged up to teach those folks a lesson. After all, no one was going to disrespect his Jenny. Jenny didn't want to give in. She yearned to change through hard work, but opportunities felt like mirages. Forrest couldn't always help, but had to do his best. To Jenny, Forrest was like a child, clueless about love, and she didn't want to be the stumbling block to his journey. Forrest hopped on the bus quickly, and Jenny's retreating silhouette stirred complex emotions in him. At that moment, Jenny realized that Forrest was there to say goodbye. Just before he left, Jenny told him, in battle, "Don't be a hero, just run." Her words were etched deep in Forrest's heart. That simple advice led to a legendary journey in battle, and before long, he joined Bubba to fight side by side. There, they had the privilege of meeting the humorous Lieutenant Dan, a guy who always loved to joke around. Coming from a family with a long legacy of soldiers, what an outstanding winner in life he truly is. Lieutenant Dan was not only dashing, but also a family pride. The glory on the battlefield added to his charm.